right, live back in action for NFL playoffs. While the league had some head coaching layoffs, it's time to pay off the regular season and give you another reason to hear some Third and Three podcasts. You know, this show is proudly presented by the Sports Column and owner Frankie Fear, who plays our show at the Sports Col. That's thesportscol.com. Make sure you check it out. Every week our show is there, plus great articles. And the Third and Three podcast is brought to you by Reebok. Go to thirdand3podcast.com for all the latest deals and brand new kicks like the Nano X1 for men and women, or grab that winter gear with a brand new fleece, graphic and classic hoodies, so much more that Reebok has to offer. So take advantage of our offer by going to the Third and Three website. Get 15% off all Reebok gear by using our code REWIND at checkout. Code is REWIND. Use it. Take advantage of it. All right, let's do it. Hey, my name is Jason Fearman, a.k.a. the Sports Prophet, ready to roll. Already, this is season 7 of the Third and Three podcast, episode number 6, guys. Woohoo! Here we go on this great adventure with my confident, charismatic, crazy co-host, Tricky Nikki Gist, and the real deal, Damian Adams. What's up, Nikki? First of all, how you doing, ladies first?
I'm good. Giants are in the playoffs. I couldn't be better.
Right? I know. First time in 6 years, you got to be feeling really good about this.
Yes, I am. I feel amazing.
Right? We get to talk more Giants football than we usually do. It's
yeah. We got past Halloween, so big things happening.
That's right. Right. D, not so fortunate this year, but that's okay. I still feel confident about New Orleans' future, and that's something we'll get to talk about a lot during the offseason, what they're going to do at quarterback and whatnot. But they still got a good team, and you know what? You're a hell of a guy, and you're still hanging in there and talking football with us.
Well, yeah, that's the ebbs and flows of being a fan. You know, eventually it was going to come back around to where Nikki was going to be the one celebrating that her team was in the playoffs, and I was going to be the one sitting on the sideline. Eventually that's going to have to happen.
Yeah.
So now, I get to enjoy the playoffs stress-free. I'm not stressed out at all. I get to just watch the games. You guys will be stressed out this weekend, and I'll enjoy watching you guys stress out.
Absolutely. Very true. Yeah, the first year we did this show, my team, my 49ers, did not make the playoffs, and that was ironically the year after they had went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Chiefs. So I felt it that year. And but yeah, you're New Orleans Saints, and then now the Giants are in it, and the Niners are back. So all right, we got things to celebrate. We'll back each other up over here. That's what we do. Third and Three family. Let's get to neighborhood news before we kick things off. We're going to talk about the game. We got our yearly regular season awards that we're going to give out. We're going to rank the playoff teams, the best from 1 through 5. All right, that's head coaches, quarterbacks, offense, defense. So we're getting into a whole bunch of cool shit. We want you guys to jump along, obviously, as you always do in the comments section. We love it. So hit us up over there. But to get started, the best news that we could possibly start out with today is that, all right, Damar Hamlin released from Buffalo Hospital. He is home. He's now going to be recovering at home. I don't know if he's going to make a full recovery or not, but all signs are pointing toward great things right now, guys. So I don't know how much better it can get than that, Damian.
No, it's awesome, right? When you think about the fact that this time last week, we had no idea, what would happen with Damar Hamlin and, where that story would go. But now everything's pointing to, like you said, everything's pointing to maybe a full recovery for him. And now you will, maybe get to see him make an appearance at a Bills game or something like that going forward. And that would just be great to see for all football fans. I think it hit all of us in a special way to see that happen. Like it definitely sometimes, not us, but sometimes fans in general can forget that these are human beings on the field.
That's right.
And I think that this really brought a human side to football in general and really just brought us all together to celebrate something that, we almost we were very close to a very somber, football feeling and a very somber feeling towards football. And now that's reversed to being able to celebrate it. And that's just awesome.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, it's unbelievable. Again, the outpouring of love that came out of it. And again, the power of prayer that we had been talking about going back to last show, it is real. And I believe that is definitely part of something that had saved this young man. And let's see if he makes a full recovery. God bless. Football's another story altogether, but let's see how he does. Can't wait. and can't wait to get Nikki back. Having a little technical difficulty with it, but we'll get her in over here. And just some news: the no Tua Tagovailoa for the Miami Dolphins in this game against Buffalo, and they didn't have a great chance to win it, even though they did beat them earlier in the season, and they played a close game against them just going back a month ago. So with Tua in the lineup, it's a totally different story. And now they got to go to Skylar Thompson, and Teddy Bridgewater apparently is not even available because of his finger. So Dolphins got a problem going into this game, and we'll pick it later.
Yeah, no, it definitely changes the whole aspect of the game. It changes a lot going forward as far as the future of Tua as well, right? The fact that it's taking this long for him to get out of concussion protocol is showing that, they're being cautious, which is a good thing, but it's also showing that there's more cause to pause when it comes to Tua's future, right? Because we all think he's had at least 3 concussions this year, right? Only 2 were documented, but there's, of course, the other one where, he stumbled and didn't end up playing that next Thursday. And we all know what happened on that big Thursday night game.
Mm-hmm.
So now that he's on concussion number 3, as we all think, that's a lot to have in 1 year. And for someone like him,
for a career, 1 year, forget about it.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't seen these type of things since, not to bring it up, but Steve Young. Steve Young had to kind of into his career with concussions. Troy Aikman as well.
Yep.
Yeah, and so we haven't seen that type of, as far as we know, we haven't seen this since then. So now it's with us being more aware about it. It really makes you just scared for the future for Tua. And Tua showed signs of really coming along this year. You picked him as your quantum leap quarterback, and he lived up to those expectations.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're like, dang, will we get to see where he could have went even further? We just don't know.
It's too bad. I was talking about with some coworkers today, and I live down here in South Florida, so a lot of Miami Dolphin fans, and it's just a shame. It really is. It's upsetting. They made it to the playoffs finally after having however many year drought it was of not getting there and not being relevant. And, they have a good team around them. They really do. And things just click when Tua's in there. And we saw with Skylar Thompson, they were able to muster up 9 points against the Jets last week to get a 9-6 victory, which is still amazing to me that it happened. But nevertheless, they did get in, and we'll see how they fare against Buffalo in Buffalo. That game is. And as for another backup quarterback, actually backup quarterback, third string, Anthony Brown is probably going to start for the Baltimore Ravens again, dude, because Lamar Jackson did not practice again. Neither did Tyler Huntley. He's got a shoulder issue. Lamar's dealing with a PCL. And, the offense was not working with Huntley. It actually wasn't even working that well with Lamar Jackson in there. So right now you go to a third-string quarterback going up against Cincinnati, who can easily put up another 30-plus points again, as they did last week against Baltimore.
Yeah, this is another one where you hate to see it. I would love to see a healthy Lamar go against Cincinnati. But like you mentioned, even with Lamar Jackson, this team wasn't comfortable all season. We never saw a Baltimore Ravens squad that looked like, okay, this is the Baltimore Ravens squad that can be a championship contender. We never saw that all year. We saw them be very inconsistent on offense, where they would go 2 or 3 quarters without really showing any type of signs. And then the days where they were good on offense, their defense would give up big leads in the second half.
Right.
So we never saw them put together a 2 to 3 week spurt of, okay, this is the Baltimore Ravens that we expect. We never saw it this year. They were just able to, I guess, just from sheer will, able to get into the playoffs this year. But it's not a team that you're looking at and you're scared of because, again, they haven't been consistent at all.
Yeah, you know what? I got something thinking that going on in my head right now that Lamar Jackson obviously is not on a contract right now. He would be, obviously he's betting on himself as he did this year and didn't do a contract in the beginning of the season. Things didn't work out. So Baltimore would probably either want to tag him or whatever it is. I wonder if this plays into that whole contract situation and him saying, you know what, I'm not going to go out there and get myself even more injured right now, even though I probably could play. I'm not going to do that and screw up my contract.
It's hard for me to picture him being able to play and not playing because he's such a competitive person. Like you see it on the field. Anytime he makes a mistake, you just see how much it bothers him on the field.
Sure.
So for me, it'll be hard for me to picture him, letting his teammates down that way. And his style of play, he has to be able to move. Right now, another quarterback, a Joe Burrow, for example, if he had the same type of injury, it wouldn't be as impactful. He would still be able to go out there, even though Burrow is mobile. He would still be able to go out there and play his game. Like if he can move around the pocket, he could be fine. And Lamar Jackson can play in the pocket, but what makes him special, what makes him different, is that ability once everything breaks down, 4.2 speed, 4.3 speed out of the pocket. That's what makes Lamar Jackson truly special, along with the passing ability that has improved throughout the years. So I think that if his knee isn't able to allow him to be himself, that's why he's not playing. But the thing is, I don't think it's hurt him contract-wise, right? If anything, it's improved it. Because like I've been saying for years on this show, he's not just the engine that makes this car go for the offense. He is the entire car. He might let some people in the car, you know, and somebody else might be in the passenger side. He might let some people in the back seat, but he's the entire car that drives this offense. And I think you're seeing that even more now with him being out. With Dak Prescott broke his leg and still got paid. So I think that Lamar Jackson should still get paid with this injury. Baltimore, I understand that things got complicated after the Deshaun Watson contract. I kind of compare it to basketball, right? With Rudy Gobert, they had the big trade, Rudy Gobert, they traded way too much for him, right? That shouldn't affect other trades because they just know it's a bad deal. Same thing with Deshaun Watson. Cleveland made a bad move, giving him $230 million guaranteed, however it was.
Yep.
That's just a bad move. So Lamar Jackson shouldn't expect that, but he still should get the second biggest contract or whatever that status is for a normal contract, a good deal for both sides.
Well, that's the thing. I think he is expecting that kind of money, you know, because he's done more, proven more in the league, and I think that's what he's expecting. So, you know, that's going to be an issue. We'll see what does happen during this offseason. Now that he's not going to play in Baltimore, he's going to get bounced in the first round. Nikki, and to catch up, some interesting. I got a couple good news for you, Nikki, both and Damian. How about this one? Cliff Kingsbury finally out, so that's a done deal, right?
Yeah, I don't understand how he got 4 years to show that he wasn't a good coach, and it's crazy. We talked about it. The fact that he got the job in the first place after not being a good college coach, like he was a bad college coach that parlayed that into a head coaching job in NFL. Like it's so crazy, and it's already hard for college coaches to be good in NFL. Right, that transition is very hard to make. Very few have made it and done well, right? Jimmy Johnson and a few others have made that transition, but most of the time it doesn't go well. You look at your Matt Rules and your Nick Sabans and Steve Spurrier. There's so many examples of great college coaches who didn't do well. And you go get a bad one? Like, how does that? Like, what is that? How does that even make sense? Urban Meyer, throw him in there as well. So all these great college coaches came into the NFL and didn't do well. You get a bad one because he has an offense that you like. Like, it just didn't make sense at all. Hopefully, and now we're starting to see something full circle kind of come around because Steve Wilkes got fired because they wanted Cliff Kingsbury. Now, Steve Wilkes might be a guy who can be a hot coaching name because of what he did in Carolina this year while Cliff's going to be out. And shows you that this Arizona didn't know what they was doing in the first place.
Yeah, I want to get to something you said about coaching when, one of your earlier Real Deal videos, but I want to get to Nikki's Giants real quick, where you're getting some help right now in the secondary. You're getting McKinney and Adoree Jackson back this week.
I know. I'm so excited. It's so very much needed. Like, we'll get to that matchup, but I am so excited that he's back. Oh, my niece says hi. Hi. I just was babysitting for a couple days. So shout out to all the parents out there. You have a very difficult job. So, shout out to all the parents who are making it work because it's not easy.
Your life is no longer yours. Once you have that first child, that's it. Your life belongs to them and it's all over. So forget about it. It's out of here. All right, a couple other quick things. Mike Williams ends up getting hurt. So does Joey Bosa, actually, because the idiot Brandon Staley liked to play his players 3 quarters. I mean, I just don't understand this guy, what he's doing. You have nowhere to go. All right, you're not moving anywhere. Keenan Allen's been busted up all year as it was. Mike Williams been in and out of the lineup. He's already injury prone. Stop it. Nikki, again, this guy just keeps proving that he doesn't belong. And Sean Payton's got to be salivating. And I'll get into Sean Payton in a minute because right now there's like 10 teams out there that want him.
I know. And I do recall you guys kind of chuckling at me when I brought up the Sean Payton rumor. But now all of a sudden everybody wants a piece of him. That's your boy, Jay. That's your boy over there.
Sean Payton, look, Arizona, Houston, and Denver all have permission to speak to him, Damian. And you came out with a video earlier backing up and saying how, first of all, they didn't give David Culley, Houston Texans talking about, they didn't give him a shot last year. It was one and done. Same thing with Lovie Smith, where he got a total raw deal. But what you got to look at is what happened in the last month of the season with maybe the worst roster in the NFL, how hard they played for him, for whatever, however you want to slice it. They played amazing, all right, way above expectations, taking Kansas City to overtime, all right, playing hard against Dallas, so on and so forth. And Tennessee they beat. Anyway, just they totally did Lovie Smith wrong. And I think that there's a lot of teams out there that would love to have him this year.
Yeah, it's a thing because it was funny the responses I got from the videos that I did. Some people that, watch Houston each and every week were saying that there were some things scheme-wise they didn't like about Lovie Smith. They say that he's kind of stuck in his old ways, some of the things that got him success in the 2000s with the Bears that he's trying to bring to now, which that makes sense. If you think that he's, stuck in his ways and that the game's kind of passed him by, okay, cool. I can see that. That's a decent explanation. But why hire him in the first place? You know what he's going to run. When you interview him, you know what he's going to bring to the table, what he's running, the style of coach that he is. And like you mentioned, the team played well the last few weeks of the season. You mentioned Cowboys pushing the Chiefs to overtime. They won 2 out of their last 3 games. So when you have a team playing like that who doesn't have the talent, that comes down to coaching. It comes out them playing for their coach, right? Sure. Detroit plays for their coach and everybody goes crazy. Oh my God, look how they're playing for Dan Campbell. Look how hard they're going. Mm-hmm. Texans did the same thing. They just happen not be as talented as Detroit, right? Correct. And it just makes no sense to me at all. And some people are saying that, for me, it's hard not to look at racist because you have 2 coaches who happen to be African-American who only got 1 year, didn't get a real chance to try to make this work. And people are going to point to that and say, well, this team hired 2 black coaches, so they can't be a part of the problem. They're actually the cause of the problem because they're giving false opportunities, right? So those are going to go into the numbers as minority hires when they weren't truly opportunities for those guys to do their best job or to have a chance to actually work. So when you're given a false opportunity, that's worse than not hiring somebody. Now, of course, the better part of it is that they get guaranteed money. That's awesome, right? It also shows how much money the NFL just has to throw away. Like back-to-back years, you're just giving away millions upon millions of dollars to these guys that you only bring in for 1 year. So it doesn't show that they're this team that's committed to diversity. It just shows that they have money to blow. And now they're going to go get the person that they truly want, which, I know the rumor was Josh McCown for years that they've been wanting him, even though he's a high school coach. They've been wanting him. And I don't know if they're finally going to bring him in. And he's whoever the next coach is, they can't do one and done again. So whoever the next coach is going to get a real chance to build a program there, unlike Culley and unlike Smith. And it's just not fair when you look at the talent this roster had or did not have to work with, and how both years they played hard for Culley and they played hard for Lovie Smith. They overachieved with the talent they have. And you fire a guy who overachieved, the Houston Texans are just trash to me. Just plain trash.
There's a few coaches they could bring in, but I'll tell you one coach, and it's not because he's African-American, but Brian Flores, I think, would be a guy who can come in there and turn that organization around, and players who play for him. He's one of those type of coaches. I don't know. It's just, look, they're a bad management, like Mike is saying, from touring the AFC South. And he's also saying that Sean Payton to the Cardinals, that he said that. I don't know why he would want that job. Kyler Murray is just not the kind of quarterback I would really want to coach right now if I have my pick between, I don't know, possibly a Justin Herbert opening up. I mean, I don't know what other jobs, but at Denver, Russell Wilson, I know he's got ties over there. He's close to them, but Houston's another team that's interviewing him. I think that's like a waste of time, Nikki. Why the hell would he go over there?
Yeah, he's not going to Houston.
No. Why would you?
A waste of time. It doesn't make any sense. No, not at all. It really don't. But anyway, all right. So the playoff picture we're going to get to, but let me ask you guys real quick to close that neighborhood news. Nikki, out of all the teams left in the playoffs, and you can do it by either AFC, NFC, or you could just pick one team, what team do you have the most confidence in that can make it to the Super Bowl?
Probably your Niners or the Eagles.
I like that. I like it a lot. I like it. D, what do you think?
The Kansas City Chiefs, man, seems like they just keep on humming, and they are quietly, the 1 seed, right? And they have home field advantage, quote unquote, unless they run into Buffalo where it'll be a neutral site game. Right. But just having that team get that bye, having that home field for the first round when they play, that's going to be big. And this team, when you have Patrick Mahomes and that offense is humming, they could beat anybody.
No doubt, they certainly.
Yeah, but I feel like they have I feel like the AFC has a harder path than the NFC.
Oh, that's true. We talked about that last.
You know, like you talk about like if I had to pick like one team that I think probably I think it'd probably be the Niners or the Eagles. Like they just have an easier path.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati to me has proven that they can win on the road. They can handle their business at home. They can win high scoring games. They can play really good defense with Lou Anarumo, who is one of the best defensive coordinators out there. Right now, it's the 49ers in the NFC who have won, I don't know, not 10 straight games or whatever, and the Bengals who have won 8 or 9 straight games. To me, it seems like they're on a collision course right now. That's the way that it looks at the moment. Those are the two best teams playing right now. So I would probably give it to, both of them, AFC and NFC. I would go that way. What about the team that you would count out right away? D has no chance at all of reaching the Super Bowl.
Yeah, unfortunately, I look at Miami. No Tua. Me and Nikki talked about it when I say when it comes to Skylar Thompson, just bless his heart. He's
I learned what that meant, and you look clean. I learned what that meant too. When he came on Rush Hour on Monday night.
Yeah, so
Mike's saying that the Jaguars could be scary in there. We're going to get to that game. That's the Jaguars beat the hell out of the Chargers earlier this year.
Yeah, now the Jaguars definitely have a shot at being that scary team that makes a run. But when you look at Miami, I see them having no chance against Buffalo, and also Seattle. I see them having no chance against San Francisco.
You see, that Seattle's my team because I don't think they have any shot against the Brock Purdy-led 49ers. And the only reason why I had Cincinnati ahead of the 49ers as far as the trust factor is because I look at Joe Burrow versus Brock Purdy. But then again, the 49ers do have a better roster, in my opinion. But God, Brock Purdy, please don't explode. Like I'm afraid this guy throws like 2 interceptions in the first quarter. And like
wait for that shooter drop on that rookie, right?
Oh yeah, the confidence gets shot to hell. I've heard that he's cool, calm, and collect. So hopefully it won't happen.
He definitely seems like that, and everything you hear about him from the college days, as far as he was recruited by Nick Saban, but Nick Saban didn't want to give him a full scholarship, so he's like, all right, I'm just going to go to Iowa State or wherever he went, and just ball out and ball out there. And and say that I'm not scared of. He wanted to go against him. He wanted to prove that he could do it without Nick Saban. So I like that type of personality, like that. Somebody who has that in them. So he seems like a guy who isn't going to be scared at the moment. He does seem like that. But again, he is a rookie, so you just never know. So I get why 49ers fans have that angst. Like, I just don't know if he's going to be able to handle these moments. So yeah, I definitely get that.
I mean, the guy looks like he just got out of the prom. He's like. For God's sake, Mike, don't do this, man. Hard to beat a team 3 times. And you know what? We're going to see because, Baltimore's playing Cincinnati and Cincinnati could beat them 3 times. And remember, Tennessee did it to Jacksonville. Jacksonville touring the AFC South. You should know this, Mike. The Jacksonville in 1999, they went 14-2. The only 2 losses they had were to the Tennessee Titans. They played in the AFC Championship, I believe it was, and the Titans beat them again. They beat them 3 times that year. They're the only 3 losses that Jacksonville had the whole freaking season. That was crazy. Unbelievable.
That's nuts.
Tell me if you remember that. That is crazy. That is crazy. All right, D, let's do some bragging rights and crow bites before we get to our team record updates and all the other goodies.
All right. So, yeah, if you're new to the show, bragging rights and crow bites is where we get to brag about something we got right in the previous week or throughout the year. Or, crow bites is where we have to eat some crow on something we got wrong throughout the year or in the previous week. And with this being the end of the regular season, I'm guessing we're going to talk about some of the yearly predictions we had, or maybe something we did last week. So let's start with the lovely lady at the bottom of the screen. Nikki, what are you eating crow on this week?
What am I eating crow on? Well, thinking that Dallas and Green Bay would handle their business when they needed to this week, and they didn't, and they choked and came up short, and I should have known better.
That's a really good one. I definitely did not picture Dallas losing to Washington like that.
No.
I did not see that coming, so I'm right there with you, alongside you sharing your plate of on that one for sure. What are you eating crow on this week, Jay?
Yeah, man, that's what I got. Dallas. I didn't think that Dallas was some sort of like big shot, but I thought that they were good enough to win, not a must-win game against Washington, but against the Washington team who started a rookie in Sam Howell or whatever the frick his name is. Nobody even knows. Look, they look piss poor. They're lucky they're playing Tampa Bay, all right, because that's the only team they would probably have a shot against in this freaking NFC playoff battle right now. But you know what it's got me thinking? Mike McCarthy, maybe they're out in the first round. I don't know. Maybe it's an ugly game for Tampa and they win. And this name is coming to my mind, guys. Sean McVay, you keep hearing out of LA. I wonder if he trickles his way over to Dallas. It just feels right to me for some reason. I don't know. I see that happening in the Profit Bowl.
Maybe. I don't think so, but maybe.
Yeah, I think it'll be tough for him to, because it's not like LA is going to let him go. Like if he's going, he's going to be getting TV. He's not going to be coaching.
Yes, I think he's going to TV.
Yeah, like trade. I don't know.
Yeah, they would have to give him so much to get Sean McVay. Like if I'm the LA Rams, you got to give me your firstborn if you want Sean McVay.
Yeah,
like, you gotta give me,
or like multiple generations is what we need. Yeah.
Well, luckily, Jerry Jones has enough grandkids, so he'll be able to.
That's true. A lot of grandkids to give up for sure. I want a grandkid and cash considerations for sure.
Yes.
So for my Crow, I'm gonna go with a season-long one for the Crow. Coach of the Year. At the beginning of the year, I said that your guy Brandon Staley would be Coach of the Year, and he did not show that improvement in coaching that I expected. He did do some things differently, like he was a little less risky on fourth down, which some people thought was not an improvement, but going in the wrong direction because he was letting people get in his head about how he coached. But he just didn't. He still, and then when he would go forward, it would be the times where you're like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" So, and then also making wrong decisions when it comes to playing your players and not knowing when to do it, and also an underrated part about that game against Denver, they tried to force overtime and have even more time to play to get your players hurt. So it just wasn't smart on his part. And he just, for some reason, just makes dumb decisions. He's X's and O's. I think he's a good X's and O's coach. But when it comes down to making those critical decisions that you need a head coach to make, I feel like Brandon Staley fails in those spots. So I'm going to eat crow on picking Brandon Staley for Coach of the Year.
Yeah. I just can't believe he did that after all the bashing I've done on him for the past 2 years. I can't believe he did that. But all right, we're all entitled to make mistakes. It's okay.
That's for sure. So we just talked about our mistakes. So now let's wash down our crow bites with some sweet bragging rights. What are you bragging about this week, Nikki?
My season-long prediction that the Giants would win 9 games, and they won 9 games.
Oh, yes, they did.
Okay.
On the money, as I have been.
Way to go.
Against the spread usually this season, not so much straight up. But I remember predicting this in August, and everybody was like, "No, you're crazy! Like, there's no way this is going to happen," and it happened. So, and I was petty enough to dig it out of the Third and Three archive and tweet it and pin it to my page just to shove it in everybody's face who said I didn't make that prediction, because I did.
We got you back.
I love the pettiness of it. I definitely love that. That's one of the reasons that we love you, is because of your petty side. So I definitely appreciate that about you for sure. What are you bragging about this week, Jay?
I'll go to last week, man. Look, I told you guys the Falcons were going to beat the Bucs because they were going to take their peoples out. So I won some dough on that one. That was nice. And the Broncos, too. I said they were going to win that game as well against the Chargers because Brandon Staley's stupid. He still played his guys terribly long, which I cannot believe. But a little extra credit. You remember in the beginning of the year, I told you Chandler Jones is going to be the biggest dud and so overhyped. It just did not work out for him over there at all. I think, again, he had a sack or a sack and a half the whole year. He was a bust. And I did tell you that Jonathan Taylor would take a step back. Now, he did get injured, but during the time that he was playing, he wasn't the Jonathan Taylor last year.
He wasn't. Only a few games that he looked like Jonathan Taylor that we fantasy owners fell in love with. So you definitely were right about that for sure. For my bragging rights, I'm gonna go with another season-long prediction. Justin Jefferson, you guys know I was on him all year as Offensive Player of the Year candidate. He had an amazing year, one of the best years of a wide receiver ever had. So I definitely was right about that one. I wasn't alone in that pick. It wasn't like a Super Bowl prediction, but it still was one that I got correct. So I wanted to brag about that one. So that's our. Yeah, it was pretty.
I mean, Jefferson, I got his numbers right in front of me. 128 catches, 1,809 yards, and 8 touchdowns. Man, that's a pretty darn good pick, bro.
Yeah, he definitely balled out this year for me and got me all the way to the semifinals in fantasy until Jason took me out for our fantasy football league.
Yes, it's hard to finish the runner-up, though, man. That's a killer. I wanted that, but it was a well-fought battle. Anyway, that's history. All right, let's get to the mystery of the future right now. But first, we got to talk about our records. Nikki, you have officially won the team record update again, guys. If you haven't known, We all drafted 10 teams out of the 32 that are in the league, and whoever had the most wins out of the 10 teams that person drafted won. Nikki did with 92. I had 83. Damian had 78. So Nikki's the winner there. Week 18 records. All right. Damian, double lock, 9-6. Nikki, single lock, 10-5. And old Uncle Jay over here had another good one. Triple lock, 12-4. And that gives me the win for the year. Nice. All right. With 10 wins.
Very nice.
Damian had 7, Nikki 3. Yes, thank you. So, man, I've been on a roll like the past month and a half. And
I've been killing it. Yeah.
Very happy. Been doing pretty good. And Freaky Fantasy Football Draft, I ended up taking the last week, so I did win it. Nikki, you were right there. You were close, but I won the last week. 80 points for me, 69 for Nikki. D, you had a rough one, 44. So I ended up winning the Freaky Fantasy Football Draft of 2022, but well-fought battles all around and always a lot of fun. And now we have playoff shit to go over and have a whole lot of fun.
Yes.
So that's going to be great. That's going to be great. So why don't we rank the playoff teams now? So the way we're going to do it, guys, is we're going to take the top 5 quarterbacks, defenses, offenses, offensive weapons, defenses, and coaches.
Oh, shit. I didn't do any of this. So.
No, you can do it off the top of your head. That's fine.
I'm like, I didn't prep for any of this.
Don't worry about it. I'll write it down. We can do it off. Listen, we do our best work off the top of our head anyway. So
I'm like, I don't know. What are we talking about here?
So, for example, like for quarterback, all right, if you think that Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback, then Kansas City would get 5 points. All right. And we're going to do it.
God, wait, this is a game?
No, it's not a game. No. It's to see. It's basically what this is going to do is whatever team has the most points is going to be the most likely team to win it all, because we want to see who's got the best of the best. So we'll do it. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time doing it, but we're going to go through it. So, like, for example, like I said, quarterbacks, I have Patrick Mahomes as the best quarterback in the playoffs, in my opinion. So Kansas City is going to get 5 points from me. So, Damien, who do you have as the best quarterback in the playoffs?
I have Patrick Mahomes as well.
You got Mahomes as well. So let me write this down. So you got Kansas City also getting 5. Nikki, what do you think?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with Mahomes.
You going Mahomes too? All right. Kansas City 5. The second best in the playoffs, I had to think about it, but I got Josh Allen. So the Bills are going to get 4 points for me.
Yeah, I got Josh Allen as well.
All right. So Buffalo 4 for D also. So we're in agreement there. Nikki, you going with Allen? Do you got Hurts? Burrow?
No, I'm going to go with my boy, Mr. Primetime, go Joe Burrow here.
You know, Burrow. Okay.
Yes.
No doubt. So does that mean you would have Allen 3 or somebody else?
3.
All right. So you got Allen 3. D, who do you got third?
I'm going with Joe Burrow third. That was a tough one for me. I went Joe Burrow.
That is a tough one. Based off of this year, because of the running ability added into it, I did go with Jalen Hurts at number 3. So I put Hurts at 3. And I did go with Burrow at number 4. Who'd you go with at 4, D?
I went with Hurts at 4.
Hurts
at 4. Okay. All right. So you went with Hurts at 4. What about you, Nikki? You got Hurts also?
Hurts.
Yeah? Okay.
Yep.
So Philly, Hurts, and I also, so for, I guess, the 5th best quarterback, in my opinion, I went with Justin Herbert. I wasn't sure, but because Lamar is hurt, he's not playing. You know, Tua was playing great this year, but he's not in. So I couldn't count either one of them. So I had to go with Herbert.
Yeah, I went with Herbert for the same reasons. Lamar Jackson's hurt, Tua's out, and I don't see anybody else being better than Herbert that's in there.
There you go. That makes sense. Okay. What do you think, Nikki?
Yes, it's Herbert.
Yeah, you going Herbert too? All right. So we agree for the most part. We got all the same quarterbacks in there, that's for sure. How about offensive weapons? This one could be tricky. What do you think, Nikki, for offense? Well, do you want me to go first? You can think about it for a second.
No, Justin Jefferson.
So you think Minnesota overall has the best offensive weapons?
Oh,
like the whole team?
Are you not doing the players? What are you doing?
No, the whole team.
Oh, the whole team. The whole team.
Best offense.
No, not Minnesota. Who's not the best offense? Probably Kansas City.
Okay. All right, Kansas City. So they get another 5 from you. All right. D, what do you think?
I went Buffalo if we're gonna go full teams, I think offensively they have the most weapons.
I went with Cincinnati because you got Joe Mixon, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, even Tyler Boyd, Hayden Hurst is in there now, and Joe Burrow is just freaking ridiculous, man. So I don't know. I had to go Cincinnati for my top team as far as the offensive weapons. Second, I went Eagles, guys. AJ Brown, Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts is an MVP. Devontae Smith doesn't get talked about enough. Dallas Goedert, I think they're loaded. So maybe I went out on a limb over there, but I think Philly is got the second best offensive weapons left in the playoffs. What do you think, Ding?
I went Cincinnati at 2.
Okay, that makes sense. Right, you had Buffalo at 1. All right, Nikki, you had Kansas City at 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd go Cincinnati next.
Cincinnati. All right. What about after Cincinnati?
Buffalo.
That makes sense. Okay. Let's see. D, you going Kansas City 3? You got somebody else in mind?
No, I went Philly 3.
Okay, cool. All right, so you're in the same neighborhood as me. All right.
Yeah, because I'm thinking offensive weapons. That's the thing. Mahomes is a weapon in himself.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's tough because I feel like Kansas City, their offensive weapons depend on Mahomes. And with Philly, individually, those weapons are good.
I like that explanation. That's good. Yeah. That's good. I mean, I ended up going with Kansas City ultimately at 3 because Mahomes is that amazing and he makes his players like Jimmy Smith-Schuster look so much more amazing. Marcus Valdez-Scantling looks great. I mean, he just makes guys look great. And Jerick McKinnon is definitely a weapon. Isaiah Pacheco has become more of a weapon. I didn't even mention Travis Kelce. So, I mean, a lot of weapons over there. So I got Kansas City with the 3rd best offense. And I went with the 49ers with the 4th best offense. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is unbelievable. Debo is incredible. Brandon Ayuk is coming to his own. George Kittle has 7 touchdowns over the last 3 games. And Brock Purdy just keep doing what you're doing. Plus, we got a fullback that actually makes sense in Kyle Juszczyk, which not many teams have. So, I went with 49ers with the 4th best offense.
See, I went Kansas City 4 because of Patrick Mahomes. And then I went San Francisco 5. I agree with everything you said about San Francisco. Great weapons, but then you got Mahomes versus Purdy. That's why I like Mahomes.
Definitely. Yeah, that's why I had Kansas City 3. No doubt about it. All right, Nikki, you have Kansas City, Cincinnati, Buffalo. Who's your 4th best offense?
I'll go Eagles and then San Fran.
Philly. All right. And San Fran. And my last team was actually Miami. Despite, I know Tua's not in there, but God,
really. Tua's not in there.
Tyreek Hill's hobbled as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. But I don't know. Miami's just got so many weapons. I don't know if they run the ball. I don't think
they don't have full weapons. They don't have their starting quarterback.
They don't. I know.
I would put Minnesota in over Miami at this point.
Minnesota probably.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Jefferson by himself, and then Thielen is still pretty good. Yeah, and then Cooks,
prime time. We see you over there with these answers up. All right, Joe Burrow. All right, so then you like Mahomes. He's like Kittle, San Fran, Cincinnati, Buffalo, Minnesota, Philly. Okay, Prime, I see you with that. All right, a couple of categories left to go over here, guys. We're pretty much on the same page with this thing. How about defense? Who's the number 1 defense, Nikki?
Well, you know who the number 1 defense is. So you just want to hear us say it.
I know. I think this whole segment is just to talk about the Niners, honestly.
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Let's give them 5 points.
What is this segment, actually? What is this?
This is a beautiful segment. I love it.
This is just to talk about the Niners.
Hey, listen. Was I biased all year on the Niners? Oh no, I gave.
I'm not saying you're biased. No. I never called you biased. People call me biased, but
I was good.
I'm definitely the most biased one on the show for sure.
Oh yeah, you for sure are. At least you own it.
No question. All right. So 49ers, yes, best defense. Yes, San Fran. Oh, you know it all the way, baby, Mike. You know it. All right. Well, who's got the second one then, Ding?
This was tough. I was really trying to go through it. I went Buffalo, but even though their defense has been kind of struggling a little bit lately, but I went Buffalo with the second best defense.
So did I. I went Buffalo's second best defense to make me feel a little bit better if Von Miller was in there, but I went with Buffalo also. Yeah. But Tre'Davious White, back in there is obviously a big thing, and they still got a lot of good guys. Well, what do you think? You got Buffalo too, Nick?
I'll go Buffalo. Giants, Eagles, and I'll throw Jacksonville a little credit.
Oh,
okay. Right.
Yes,
so we got Nikki's out of the way.
I like Jacksonville. Jacksonville's defense is good, and they
They
carried them
are
to
sneaky.
division. Yeah,
They're sneaky. Yeah.
I like this, Mike. 5 best defenses: San Fran on Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah, really. I mean, it really is just San Fran.
Let's see what Prime says. He's got San Fran, then the Giants, then Dallas, Eagles, and Chargers. And Chargers have been playing better lately. Okay, so that's not bad.
They've been playing better lately. They just that health factor with them, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's another thing, the health factor. Absolutely. They have gotten healthier, but let's see if Joey Bosa's at his full strength. I don't know. All right, so I'm San Fran, Buffalo, same as D. My third defense would be I think Cincinnati's underrated. I got Cincinnati, man.
Yeah, me and you on the same page. I went Cincinnati as well. I think they do a great job of bending and not breaking. Like you're not going to just get touchdowns on them. Like they do a great job. You might get yards, but you're not going to get a bunch of touchdowns.
That's right. They'll tamper to you to death all freaking day. Absolutely, no doubt. Good call. You see, great minds think alike. We're right there. Mm-hmm. All right. Who's my number 4 defense? I got Philly.
I went Philly as well.
I love it. You see, D, this is what I'm talking about. Bro, that's what's up. And I guarantee you we have the same last one as well. That'd be the New York Giants, right?
I went Giants, yep.
Love it. Oh, that was so
I was stuck between Giants and Jacksonville because I did want to give Jacksonville some love. So I had Jacksonville as kind of my honorable mention there.
All right, fair enough. And Giants getting a little bit healthier right now. So, Nikki, you got to be very happy right now. I can't wait to get to our game picks over there.
If we could ever get to it.
Yeah, we're going to get to it. I'm sorry. We're just trying to break down the playoffs over here. Do you not want to give yearly awards? Do you want to skip over that?
We'll do it. No, go ahead. Let's go. Okay. Let's roll.
All right. Well, we'll do it. We'll do it. All right. So let's do it now. Let's get right to it so Nikki doesn't get upset. Nikki, who's your MVP?
I'm not getting upset. I just don't know why we rank the thing. Like, so do you add up the points now? What happens?
Yes, I was going to, but since you're in such a rush, why don't we just move on?
Well, add it up now.
Do you want me to? All right.
Yeah.
So
I think we know who wins, but okay.
Okay, who wins?
I don't know. Probably San Fran, right?
No, I don't know why you think that. They had the best defense. It doesn't mean that they had the best.
Yeah, because their quarterback didn't make the rankings at all. So
right. Yeah. I forgot. I don't know what we're doing.
Not at all. Not at all. Well, if you want to talk for like 60 seconds, I can figure it out and tell you who we got.
But yeah, so for our awards, when we get to that, we're going to do MVP, Coach of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year. We also got some fun ones in there, like team that overachieved the most, underachieved the most, coach that's lucky to have their job. I think that is going to be one I'm interested to see what you guys have to say for that one. And of course, we got our Rookies of the Year and stuff like that as well. So I think that's going to be really fun to do the awards. Of course, we're going to do our picks and also our, 3rd and 3 parlay as we give you 3 bets to put together for this wild card weekend as well. But Nikki, while he's adding up the points over there, I was thinking about something. What? I think that the fans, we have to stop rewarding the NFL for making moves that don't add to the product, right? So none of us wanted a 17th game, right?
Nope.
It doesn't add at all to the product. But we have made it seem like it's a good move because we continue to reward it by watching and paying for and doing all these things for a 17 game. Adding a 7th playoff team seemed like it's not going to add anything to the product. Last year, Philadelphia got whooped on and they were the 7th seed. Pittsburgh got absolutely demolished when they were the 7th seed. The 7th seeds this year seem like they're going to get demolished. Seattle and Miami seem like they're going to get whooped on. So the 7th seed it doesn't seem like it's really adding anything to the playoff atmosphere. It's not adding anything to what we're getting as far as a playoff product. Am I tripping when I say that we shouldn't have 7 teams in the playoffs?
No, you're not tripping. I don't think any of us like this. I mean, we came on here, first thing we said was we hated this and it was a money grab for the league. Like, I don't think any true fan really wanted to, see this. And honestly, I hate it. I hate it for fantasy reasons. I hate it altogether. I think the objective is to get the Super Bowl on President's Weekend. So just friggin' move it. Like, just move it then. Like, I don't know why we have to do all of this, but you're right. We should stop watching. We should just come together and be like, no, we don't want this extra team this extra week, but damn it, I can't help but watch.
That's what it has us by the throat, man.
It's football. We're going to watch. It's
all right, got your numbers over there?
The numbers say that we have the most confidence in the Buffalo Bills, which is ironically the team that we all picked to come out of the AFC. So Buffalo followed by Cincinnati and then Kansas City. So AFC is ruling right now. That's the way it's going. AFC rules. All right.
Yeah, that's no surprise there. The AFC is definitely superior.
What was the highest ranked NFC team?
The 49ers. Yep, just a notch over Philly because that defense got them that points right there. But just a notch over Philly because, the 49ers still have decent weapons over there. And as far as the quarterback, that's where they kind of fell off. But Hurts got them some points in that area, so they were just right there. And that all makes sense to me because if I'm having confidence in anybody out of the NFC, it's Philly and San Fran. And out of the AFC, it's Cincinnati, Buffalo, and Kansas City. I don't think that we're going to see any other teams other than the 5 that I said. 2 out of those 5, I think, are gone.
So we don't have any confidence in any wild card team making a run this year?
I do.
Nikki's switching it up over here?
No, I'm not switching it up. I'm just saying I have confidence in a certain 9-win team.
Okay. All right.
No, that's the thing. I can see the Giants maybe making a run. Look, when you look at it this way, right? Minnesota, we've agreed they were somewhat fugazi. I called them the most fugazi at the time, most fugazi 2 seed. Now I think they're most fugazi 3 seed we've ever seen, right? And they could beat Minnesota. Most likely they have to play against Philadelphia. Philadelphia hasn't looked like themselves lately. Yep. Jalen Hurts still not 100%. Could lead to a big upset. Next thing you know, we got San Fran versus the Giants in an NFC Championship game. I would love to see that. See you guys go crazy. So I can see the run happening. Now, can I see them being San Francisco? No. But I can see a deep run happening here. I see it where it's possible.
It is possible. If you had like a wild card team that you had a lot of confidence in, that would be my pick.
All right. Well, hey, listen, probably have the coach of the year over there. Daniel Jones has exceeded expectations and
overachieved. They might overachieve award.
Yeah, right. Why not? Well, let's give awards out. Let's do it. All right. Here we go. MVP over here. Nikki, would you like to start?
Mike, I am going to say the Giants might be going somewhere. They haven't gone anywhere in 10, 11 years. They might have a chance. They got a little shot. Let me have it.
Why not?
I can see the road. I see the roadmap I just put out there can happen for sure.
Yes, it can.
I'll tell you what. In 2011 and probably in 2007, I don't think anybody picked them to go to the Super Bowl that year either. So
he did in high school, right? Didn't you pick him?
Nah, that was my first hot take was the 07 Giants making it to the Super Bowl and winning against the undefeated Patriots.
I like that. Very nice.
And that's when you knew you would be a content creator and podcaster.
I didn't like the term content creator wasn't really out yet, so I didn't know exactly what I was going to be doing. But now I know.
Mike is coming after you, Nikki. Damn.
Go ahead.
How's
that different than any other day for me? God.
Anyway, so my MVP, I did mention it last week, is even though he doesn't have the numbers right now, I think it's been proven with him out of the lineup. They're a much different team. And I'm not talking about 2. I'm talking about Jalen Hurts, 67% completion percentage, only has 3,700 yards. He's missed a few games, as we know, but 22 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. And we have to consider all the rushing yards that he's had. The man can squat like 2 tons. It's ridiculous. And, he just brings that whole dynamic part to the offense. Him rolling out of the pocket, you got to watch it down deep. He can throw it 40, 50 yards, or he can run it up the sideline for 7, 8, 10 yards or whatever it is. I think Jalen Hurts is the MVP this year, despite missing those couple of games. And Mike happens to agree with me.
And I agree with you as well.
All right, Nikki, I like it.
We're going all going
Philly guy.
Okay, I'm gonna go Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at Jalen Hurts' pick at all. Like he's had an amazing year. My favorite part about the whole squatting thing, him being able to squat 1,000,000 pounds, is when they showed the video on Monday Night Football and Craig Mills like, why? Like why is he doing this? He's like a quarterback doesn't need to do this, which is true, but it just happens to be awesome that he also can do this while being able to throw the ball and down the field and be accurate and all that good stuff. But not mad at Jalen Hurts' pick, but I'm just going Mahomes because like I mentioned earlier, when you look at that offense, they're so dependent on Mahomes being awesome to make the weapons look good. So I think because of that, I'm gonna go Patrick Mahomes. And plus that defense isn't that good, right? So they have to score points. And with the Eagles, their defense was better throughout the year. even though they do very dependent on Hurts, which we see. I think that Mahomes does such a job of raising up the talent around him. So I'm gonna go Patrick Mahomes.
Well, listen, there's no doubt. I mean, Mahomes is absolutely insane. His numbers, he's got 5,250 yards this year, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, a little bit high for him, but still amazing. And just to read Patrick's quote real quick, talking about the Eagles struggling against the Giants B team last week, which they actually did. If Jalen Hurts, so why Jalen Hurts banged up, no Lane Johnson, the O-line, day and night without him. Yeah, he's one of the best right tackles in the game over there. So he says he's the G-men beating the Vikings, the fraud Vikings that they are. We call them Fugazi Vikings over there. I love it. Very, very interesting. All right. Moving along, let's give some more awards that quick over here. Coach of the Year, Nikki. I don't even have to ask you, but why
don't you have to ask me? Brian Daboll.
I agree with you. I had Nick Sirianni. I picked him preseason, but I think that Brian Daboll's done a better job, so I would give it to him, D.
Yeah, you make it a trifecta. I'm going with Brian Daboll as well. When you look at what he did compared to expectations, the Eagles, we all picked the Eagles to be the 1 seed, I believe, in the NFC. So everyone was expecting this team to make that turnaround. And you still have to coach and do a good job. I'm not trying to take anything away from Nick Sirianni. Right. But Brian Daboll definitely exceeded expectations. And the way they won games, you just saw the coaching pouring out in those wins.
No doubt. Yeah, players want to play for him. Brian Daboll will likely win this award. There's no doubt. A couple other guys are up there. Nobody's giving Kevin O'Connell a chance, Pete Carroll. But no, it's Brian Daboll. Even Mike McDaniel, to an extent. But, Brian Daboll.
It's hard with them because they had so many extreme up and downs, 5-game win, then 5-game lose.
For sure. Giants had that little spout right there where it was like, oh, shit, are they going to be the freaking Giants of old? But no, they came back.
It's like we said, it tends to be a narrative award. And honestly, it's been a 3-4 win team for a good 5 years in a row, and you come in, you get 9 wins and you go to the playoffs. I mean, talk about turning a franchise around.
No doubt. Hey, Mr. Primetime is right too. As far as the Lions, I mean, they had the second overall pick in the draft last year, and Dave Campbell, great job, no doubt. So that's a good call, Prime. Rookie of the Year, offensive wise, I looked up Garrett Wilson's numbers. He was the one I picked, and then his numbers solidified it for me. The 83 receptions, 1,103 yards, only 4 touchdowns. But again, that's on a crappy team with no quarterback. Had he had a better quarterback, his numbers would have been that much better. So I think the fact that he did that with Zach Wilson and Mike White is pretty incredible.
I was about to say, and Joe Flacco.
Yeah, Joe Flacco.
Garrett Wilson's an absolute monster. I love that pick, and I went with Garrett Wilson as well because Dameon Pierce kind of fell off a little bit. He was kind of the front runner for most of the year.
He was,
but I think Garrett Wilson came and took the award at the end.
Yeah, Prime saying not even close, Garrett Wilson. Unless, Nikki, you disagree?
I don't. You can make it a trifecta.
Trifecta. Try as hard as you can. It's going to factor. All right. As far as defensive rookie of the year, this one can go a few different ways. Nikki, do you have one off the top of your head?
I went Sauce Gardner for this one. Look at the names that he had shut down, Mark Andrews, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill, Jefferson, Diggs. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, led the league in defensive passes. Unbelievable job, no doubt. And I really wanted to give it to him. I don't like that he doesn't travel. I don't like that he only stays on one side of the field, but still, I can't take away from the guy. But I feel like Aiden Hutchinson had more of an impact, so I gave it to him. 70 tackles, 9.5 sacks, even had 3 interceptions this year. I mean, he made that Lions defense a viable defense the last, month, 2 months of the regular season. So as Sauce totally deserves it, but I went with Aiden Hutchinson by that much, D.
Okay, I definitely can see that. I went with Sauce Gardner as well, though, because not only was he the best rookie corner, he was one of the best corners, period, in the league.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. So I went with Sauce Gardner because of that.
All right. Yeah, I think both of them have incredibly bright futures. No question about it.
For sure.
For sure. Offensive player of the year, D. I think I know where you're going with this one, and you're right to do it.
You mentioned his numbers earlier. Justin Jefferson, absolute monster. And let's not forget, he maybe made the best catch we've ever seen on 4th and 18 against the Buffalo Bills this year. I think that should go into it as well.
Wow.
Since Odell Beckham.
Numbers are fantastic.
I don't know. The stakes of the catch make it different, though. 4th and 18, they don't get that catch. And plus, the defender's right there. Like with Odell Beckham, he had to get around the defender. And once he got around him, he was by himself. Justin Jefferson had to snatch it away from the defender with one hand on 4th and 18 to keep the game going.
I hear you. I'm just saying maybe the best catch since Odell did it.
It's not just enough to make a one-handed catch anymore because people are doing that all the time. Now you have to have style and grace and, ballet lessons and shit like that. Yeah, it's got to be all
ballet is hard.
I will give Odell credit. Odell is the one who started the just crazy one-hand catches where it became a normal thing.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Yes. And people are just abnormal as a result of it. Unreal. Offensive player Justin Jefferson is going to get a lot of votes over there. Nikki, I'm assuming you agree?
I agree.
I'm not going to disagree, but I'm going to put Austin Ekeler's name in the running, which was my offensive player of the year in the beginning of the season. Guys, he's got 915 rushing yards, 4.5 yards per carry, 13 touchdowns on the ground. You ready for this? He's got 107 catches, 107 catches, 722 receiving yards, and 5 touchdowns in the air. And what kind of put him over the hump for me a little bit is the fact that he did this without Keenan Allen in the lineup for the majority of the year and Mike Williams in and out. He had to carry that offense.
Yeah, offensive line had injuries too.
Absolutely. Rashawn Slater barely played this year. 100% correct. He got hurt in that Jaguar game, I think, in week 3. So you're absolutely right. And that's why Austin Ekeler is going to get a lot of love from me right there. If Justin Jefferson wins it, no freaking problem. But Ekeler deserves a lot of love.
That's a great call, Jay. That's a great call.
Thank you. And you made a great call. Didn't you pick Nick Bosa to be your defensive player of the year?
No, I picked Joey Bosa to be my
Joey Bosa. Okay. Yeah. All right.
I thought because I was like,
you got the right family, right?
Yeah, I got the right family. If Joey Bosa could have stayed healthy, maybe it could have happened. My thinking behind that was they added Khalil Mack, so he would have less double teams and he would be able to go crazy this year. And which, when he was healthy, he did go crazy when he was healthy.
He sure did. I'll look prime. Stop trying to talk myself into Austin Ekeler. I'm just saying, man. Oh man. This Nick Bosa's got 18.5 sacks. He's got
Nick Bosa all the way.
Yeah,
he's second in tackles for loss too, which is another great stat right there. Nick Bosa's killing it this year.
This is another award where it seemed like Micah Parsons for a little bit was going to run away with it.
Yeah.
Then Nick Bosa just came and just took it over.
Snatched it. Like I snatched players from you guys in Freaky Fantasy Draft.
Snatched like Brad Pitt in the movie, man. Awesome.
Like
what about you never seen? Well, of course you've never seen the movie, any movie, but the movie Snatch with Brad Pitt and Jason Statham is in it and a whole bunch of other people.
I never heard of it.
Of course you have.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Jay. I haven't seen that one. Most times I've seen the movie.
It's not the most popular movie on the planet. It's okay. I didn't yell at anybody, but I just knew Nikki obviously did not see it.
No, I never heard of it. Okay.
How about best team offense? Well, we kind of touched on this a little bit in the playoffs. Yeah, we kind of touched on that a little bit. Would you say the 49ers have the best defense in the league, or do you think the Broncos give them a run for their money at all?
No, the Broncos definitely gave them a run for their money for most of the year, but then towards the end, you saw the 49ers really run away with it.
It did fall off. Yeah. All right. The most outstanding player, because the MVP I gave to Hurts, I'm giving to Mahomes. We talked about his numbers before: 5,250 yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That's pretty freaking outstanding. I can't think of anybody else who's more flashy and does more stuff. He's just unbelievable, dude. Like you talked about it before. It's unreal.
Yeah, no, that's a great pick right there. I wanted to go outside of quarterback for that one. Just because the MVP is a quarterback award. So for most outstanding player, you could go Tyreek. If I'm going to give offensive player of the year to Justin Jefferson, I guess you go Tyreek Hill for most outstanding player for what he was able to do throughout the year. He was on pace to do some crazy numbers and then slow down, but the pace he was on was absolutely, like, we think back to like week 9, he was on pace for like 2,000 yards. Like, it was absolutely nuts what Tyreek Hill was on pace to do. So give him some love in this category.
That's a good call. You know what? Had Tua been healthy this year, he might have got 2,000 yards, man. You know, that's a very interesting call. I like that. Nikki, what do you say about like an outstanding player, somebody else that comes to mind?
Yeah, I know. Like, this is where it gets boring because you just start picking the same. It's like Mahomes and this and that, blah, blah, blah. So, you know what? I'm going to interpret outstanding as you didn't expect them to do that. And I'll give Daniel Jones some love because you want to talk about outstanding. He has no friggin' offense. He had no offense, no wide receivers. Isaiah Hodgins just decided, we're joining the team 2-3 weeks ago. He basically had Saquon Barkley, and then Saquon fell off for a few weeks. He carried this team on his back. He is a running quarterback, extremely athletic. Nobody thought he was going to have the year that he had. No one thought he would be in the playoffs. I was one of his biggest critics. So, you know what? You get my outstanding award, Daniel Jones. You do.
Whoever would have thought, what would have say, without Daniel Jones's legs, the Giants wouldn't be in the playoffs.
They
How
wouldn't.
about that? Unbelievable.
And you know what I need people to stop doing when they talk about Daniel Jones? Stop saying he's sneaky fast. He's just fast.
He's
like,
fast.
He's just like fast. He's just fast. He's not a sneaky. Yeah, he's not a sneaky fast. Like and that's a stereotype thing as well. Just because he's a white quarterback doesn't mean he's sneaky
right.
fast.
Vanilla Vic, baby, Vanilla Vic. Somebody get me a shirt to wear. Send it to
Vanilla
me.
Vic. I would love somebody to get you a Vanilla Vic.
Vanilla Vic. Oh, that is funny. Oh, geez, man. Oh, man. Oh boy, we have to do some Fugaziness, right? We got we got to do Fugazi team and Fugazi player.
Yes. So most Fugazi team. Who do you have as your most Fugazi team, Jay?
I'm going with your team, man. The Minnesota Vikings, man. They're Fugazi as hell. They're just
they are. That's why they're gonna lose this weekend.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm so scared. I'm gonna say Minnesota, but then I feel like I'm gonna say Minnesota there and go out there and perform well against the Giants.
Shut your mouth.
But no, I'm rooting for the Giants. I am rooting for the Giants.
No, but you could say we can all agree they are Fugazi just because you can look to the numbers and the data will tell you they got lucky on like 11 games. Like had those 11 games gone any other way in the last like 30 seconds to a minute, they're not in the playoffs. So
the NFL
they're very fragile, right? It's like it could fall apart at any minute, and you don't know what team you're getting. That's kind of the point. Are they putting up 38 points? Or are they putting up 3?
Yeah,
that's very true. Yeah, are they going to be down at 33 to the Colts at halftime? Like you just don't know.
You just don't know. That's kind of the point. Is it prime time? Is Kirk Cousins playing in prime time? Because forget about it.
Yeah, I think it's a 4:30 game. Actually, right now on NFL Network, they just started.
I'm just saying, like in general.
No, I know.
He doesn't play in prime time.
These are all prime time.
He said on Monday night that it's close enough to prime time.
Yeah, it's close enough to prime time to where he might feel the pressure in the second half.
Yeah, he might.
My Fugazi player this year is Xavier Howard. This guy made the playoffs for the Dolphins cornerback, and he's normally a very good player, but he has had a terrible year. I'm talking a really, really bad year, and the only reason he made the Pro Bowl is because average NFL fans can only name 2 or 3 cornerbacks in the entire league, and he's one of them. Yeah. It's a total joke. He had a terrible year. He got picked on all season long. Total Fugazi player this year. But that's only this year. Normally, that guy can play. But this year, total joke. Bullshit.
Yeah, no, I agree with that pick. That's a very good one right there. When for a Fugazi player, I'm gonna cheat and just go with the whole NFC South. Just the whole division was just Fugazi this year, and they don't even deserve a playoff team. I just hope Tampa Bay. Sorry to root for the Cowboys, Nikki, but I can't see Tampa Bay win. I just can't.
Oh, how dare you? Actually, I got on the show and root for the freaking Cowboys.
I have
not rooting for them. It's hard to see them win. Like it's hard to see the Ravens win. Their offense sucks. Like
okay, I mean. Oh God, you really want the Cowboys to get past the first round? All right, think about what you're saying, because that fan base is going to be unbearable. So take it back right now.
But because you guys know how I feel about below 500 teams hosting playoff games, so I need these teams to lose these playoff games so we can get this rule change, and we can stop having below 500 teams host playoff games. Like it's such a dumb thing. I don't
deal with the Cowboys fan base. You understand? I can't deal with it.
I definitely hear you on that standpoint for sure.
But speaking of Fugazi players, mine is Dak Prescott because I'm sick and tired of all the overhyped bullshit that I have to every single day.
That's a great pick. Led the league in interceptions this year, even though he didn't play all the games. Like that's a that's a very good
Jones pick. Did not
5 games. 5 games he missed and still had the league in picks. That's bad news.
He's overhyped, but okay.
So we got 3 categories left. We have coach lucky to have a job, overachieved team, and underachieved team. So, Nikki, who's the coach that's lucky to have a job in the NFL right now?
I feel like Josh McDaniel was lucky to even get like another chance. Like it just obviously doesn't work. Hey, great offensive coordinator, stay there.
That's not a bad call. Look, you know where I'm going. That Brandon Staley, he's lucky to have it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Still, I can't understand how he got. I guess because he came off the Sean McVay tree of life, but that's the only freaking reason.
No, you know there was a period of time where if you shook hands with Sean McVay, you were going to become a head coach.
Right. If you made eye contact with Sean McVay, you were going to get a job in the NFL.
For sure. Me and Sean McVay have the same birthday, and I was like, maybe I'll get a head coaching job.
That's right. It's coming up soon, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is coming
So
up.
quiet about it.
Have a
It's
party.
like a secret. He doesn't want anyone to know. Meanwhile, I start the countdown in like August.
But that's a good comment. Pittsburgh could be an overachiever for sure.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect them to be near this good at all. Like I put a bet on it that I was going to drink, beer out of a hot dog straw.
I told you.
I almost lost it because
almost,
of that.
Man.
I got real close.
That one. I had the balls to pick him, and he's saying, "Yeah, Mike Tomlin for Coach of the Year." That's he always deserves it. He's one of the best coaches.
That's true. He always deserves some type of consideration for that. But
that's the point. He always deserves it.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. For overachieving team, I'm gonna go Jacksonville Jaguars. But for lucky coach though, coach, I'm gonna go. I split between Ron Rivera and Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels, you guys talk about how the Raiders were expected to do so much more with all the weapons they have. We covered that. With Washington, Ron Rivera, you're in the playoffs, you control your own destiny, and you switch from T. Henney to Carson Wentz. For what? Like, what are you doing? And that decision alone would get most coaches fired. So the fact that he still has his job, he definitely deserves to be in this category. So him and Josh McDaniels can split the award for lucky coach to have that job.
I like that.
Like in Mean Girls when she like rips the crown. See a movie that I saw and she like gives everybody a piece of it. We'll give all these coaches a piece of. You're lucky you have a job.
For sure.
McDaniels, what a joke. Arthur Smith, Tommy Simmons says to Arthur Smith. That's an interesting one right there. We'll see how long he sticks around with the Falcons.
Yeah,
I
don't know.
It's tough because we didn't really expect the Falcons to do much this year, so I can't really hold him.
That's true. That's true. I mean, they ended up going with they got their rookie quarterback in there. They have a rookie receiver. Their tight end is somebody they don't even throw the ball to. And
I know, but that's kind of the point. Like, how have you not gotten Kyle Pitts? Like, have you not figured it out yet? You got to be kidding.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's a good point.
My overachieving team is the Seahawks. I didn't expect this. Everybody had them as like a 3-4, maybe 5-win team this year. I didn't see Geno Smith coming out of nowhere being like a comeback player of the year candidate or whatever you want to call him. So I think they really overachieved because I don't really see where they're good. Tyler Lockett, I feel like he's been in the league for 27 years. DK Metcalf he's an overrated wide receiver in my opinion. I mean, he plays great in the game, and then you don't see him for 3 games or something like that. So I don't know. The Seahawks were, they overachieved in my opinion, and they made the playoffs.
For me to compare DK Metcalf, I'll compare him to a basketball player who drops 30 against like Detroit and Houston, but then when he plays against the good teams, only can score like 10 points. That's DK Metcalf to me. Like against bad teams and bad defenses, he's amazing. But then you put a shutdown corner on him, he disappears. Certain games he doesn't catch, he'll get shut out and don't have any catches. So I think DK Metcalf he's somebody who is a front runner when it comes to being able to get big numbers.
No doubt. Makes sense. All right, shit. Where are we? We're underachieving team now?
Yeah, did you pick your overachieving team, Nick?
Oh, Nikki, did you pick your
no, but I'm gonna go with the Giants.
No, that's a good pick.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But you saw it coming.
I saw it coming, but nobody else did. Very few people saw it coming.
Last one before we make our picks for the playoff games. And then, so our last one, underachieving team. D, who'd you come up with?
Yeah, I went Denver as well.
Denver, that's good.
It's good. Unanimous.
No, it's not. I went Tampa.
Oh,
I went Tampa. Okay. Even though they made the playoffs, nobody thought they were going to be this shitty. I mean, but Denver's a really good pick. You know what? I could actually switch my pick. Actually, that's pretty good. Denver makes a lot of sense because I thought they were going to do really good this year. And
I mean, you got Russell Wilson and all this that offense.
A great defense.
They got worse from Drew Lock to Russell Wilson. I mean, who the hell thought that was going to happen?
That's crazy. Their offense was historically bad, and for a period of time, their defense was historically good. They still couldn't win the game.
Tommy says Denver, and so does Prime. They both say Denver. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. All right. Well, let's get to the moment we've all been waiting for. We're going to make our picks right now. All right. AFC wildcard round, NFC wildcard round, Super wildcard weekend. The Chiefs got the bye in the first round. They're like number 1 in points. Steve Spagnuolo's defense usually gets better on D. We'll see if that happens. The Eagles with the bye, they needed Jalen Hurts. He's got to get his shit together. They're 2nd in points, scored 8th in defense. They look good. Maybe that's Super Bowl clash collision course, but We're going to talk about the games this weekend. Bills are the 2nd seed. Dolphins are the 7th seed. They are without Tua. We talked about it already. That means that Tyreek Hill can't be at his best. Jalen Waddle can't be at his best. Mike Gesicki can't. They're going to have to try to run the ball. But Buffalo's got way too much firepower, Nikki. I don't know how Miami could pull this one off.
They're not going to. So I got Buffalo 34, Miami 20.
You write this down over here. All right. So
I don't even think you need to talk about it, really. I mean, they don't have their quarterback.
You saw what they did against the Jets, and for some stupid reason, I watched that whole game. I don't know. I guess self-torture. I wanted to. It was an awful game to watch. But yeah, I'm going Buffalo as well. I think Nikki was being nice, 34-20. I'm going Buffalo 30-7.
Yeah, I got a 31-10. 31-10 Buffalo for me. They're 4th in points scored, 2nd in points against. I mean, Miami's got no chance in this game. And I don't think the Ravens have any chance as the 6th seed against the Bengals, the 3 seed. The Bengals have been just kicking their ass. They did last week. I think they win this game huge, 34-15. Cincinnati is 8th in offensive points. They're 5th in defense overall. Remember, that's why we had them ranked in that top 5 over there, 5th in defense. And Baltimore, yeah, they're playing okay defense, but they can't score, Nikki.
I know. Is Lamar Jackson playing?
No.
Go
with Anthony Brown. 3rd string quarterback.
Oh God. But I will say this. These two teams do play each other close. They do. So I think it might be a little bit closer. I think it's like a field goal game. 23-20 Cincinnati.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I would love to see that because I would love to see more competitive games because right now the way it's painting out to be, it could be like a 2 good game weekend. But I'm going with Cincinnati in this one. I think it's going to be Cincinnati 30, Baltimore 17.
Prime likes 35-19 Cincinnati. Yeah, Cincinnati should win
19. I like the weird scores, man. I always
the weird scores are great. I have a lot of fun with that, no doubt. That's why I got 34-15. I got a weird score in there. Who the hell knows? Touchdown, 2-point conversion.
I'm about to say all field goals.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, right.
I think so. Man.
So this is definitely a tough game, and the Jaguars did beat the Chargers earlier in the year. It was way back in week 3. The final score was 38-10. Let's see if the Chargers look. They've been playing much better. Obviously, they lost last week against Denver. We don't count that game. So Jacksonville is at home. Does that make a difference in this game? I mean, their home crowd is not really known to be such much of a home crowd, and I think the Chargers have the better roster and the better players overall. But this game is close, man. It's a hard one to pick.
So, one thing we didn't do was the coaches in our rankings.
Right.
And Doug Peterson was in my rankings. Of course, Brandon Staley is not. So I do think that's a big part of it, and that's why the game will be close. But I do think the talent of the Chargers will prevail in this one. But it's going to be a very good game. This is one of the games that I do think will be good. So I'm going Chargers 23-20. Very good game.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I got it really close. I got a 25-22. Jacksonville, they can score. Here's the thing, the Chargers play a lot of man defense, and Trevor Lawrence has been really good against man defense, or I should say the Jacksonville's offense has been really good against man defense. So I think that they're going to have to make some adjustments. Now, that's Brandon Staley's department, so I don't really trust him. So I wouldn't be shocked if Jacksonville won this game. But based on the roster alone and Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler and Justin Herbert, I'll take the Chargers. What are you going to do, Nikki?
Yeah, I have it close as well. I have Chargers 28, Jacksonville 27.
Okay. All right.
One thing to watch for in this game, first quarter, I want to see how accurate Trevor Lawrence is. Because if Trevor Lawrence is passing with the same accuracy he did against Tennessee, they're not going to win the game. Against Tennessee, they got lucky that their defense was able to force that many turnovers. If Trevor Lawrence is out there overthrowing easy passes, they're going to lose for sure.
Prime's got Chargers 24-20. Tommy's got it. Chargers by 17, so he's got it in a blowout right over there. Oh, okay. All right. Speaking of MVP, where would Baltimore be without Tucker? Yeah, we actually talked about that. Because we did talk about that was 1982. I forget his name off the top of my head. I wish I remember. But Mark Mosley, kicker, won MVP of the National Football League. That'll never happen again. But Justin Tucker may be that guy. All right, that's the AFC. We all agree on every game. We all got Buffalo, Cincinnati, and the Chargers with one road team winning. Let's go to the NFC now. We'll kick it off with my 49ers. That is the first game of the Super Wildcard weekend, Saturday at 4:30, whatever time it is. The 49ers, 6th on offense, 1st on defense. Seattle has a pretty good offense. Kenneth Walker's been one of, Rookie of the Year candidate. May not win it, but he's up there. But I don't see how Seattle wins. Now, again, it is hard to beat a team 3 times in a single year, but I don't think the 49ers give a shit. They're not thinking about it. Kyle Shanahan's going to have plenty of tricks up his sleeve. 49ers win this one 33-24. What say you, Nikki?
Niners 31, Seattle 23.
You guys are being real nice with Seattle's offense. I don't see them scoring that many. See them scoring that many points. I'm going San Francisco 28-7. This one is a trifecta.
Okay. All right. I like your score. I don't want to see a good game. I want a complete blowout domination.
I'm sure you do.
That's exactly what I want. So we'll be good with that. All right, Nikki, let's hit up your game right now with the 6th seed Giants going on the road again to play Minnesota. All right. 3 seed. Minnesota, Fugazi, we all agree. Daniel Jones has been amazing. Saquon, what's going to happen over here with your team?
Yeah, I think the Giants are going to take this one. I mean, they almost had them in week 16, and we were banged up. So this time I think we're almost at full strength, full health. And I think that this defense is going to force Kirk Cousins into some turnovers. So I have Giants 28, Minnesota 22.
They really could. This is another tough game. Just like D, we talked about Jacksonville Chargers. I think this is the other, toughest game maybe to pick on the schedule over here. The Giants just lost by a 61-yard field goal. I mean, Minnesota, maybe they got more talent, but it seems like the Giants are better coached. They got a better defense. What do you think is going to happen?
I'm going Giants. I think Giants win this one. I think in a very ironic fashion, they win by a game-winning field goal. In this one, it won't be 61 yards. I'll say like 45-yard field goal. That's what I'm calling. If it happens, 45-yard field goal to win the game by the New York Giants, 27-24.
Okay. All right. Primetime hates to say this is 31-20.
No, Prime, no. Come on. You got it. Come on. We all have to band together. None of this picking the Vikings shit. We're not doing it.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
That's my boy. I know.
The Vikings keep winning these close games. They're going to win another close game, and it's going to be heartbreaking because the Giants are going to be the better team all game. I can see them getting a couple of interceptions.
I don't need this bad juju in my life right now, but
I have nothing to do with the outcome.
No.
I have nothing to do with the outcome of the game at all.
You are the prophet, though. You are the sports prophet.
I love this. We haven't got to see this side of Nikki. We haven't got to see playoff Giant Nikki. This is hilarious.
Yeah, I know. Here it comes.
I know. Well, you are the prophet. You're always prophesizing, and you are right.
Okay.
So,
well, I'm not going to try to be wrong.
I don't want to hear that we're going to lose in a heartbreaking fashion. Please.
All right, then what my pick is. I won't talk about it anymore. Let's move on to the last game.
Right.
Which is the weirdest game, and that's Monday Night Football. And these two teams kicked off the season. That'd be Dallas and Tampa Bay. Damn shit. Both of these teams are freaking ugly.
Yeah, they both look bad right now. It's hard. It's really hard to get a grab on this game.
I don't know. I went back and forth on this. I finally came down to a decision, and I have reason to back it up. But I would want to hear what you guys got to say first. What do you say, Ding?
I'm going to go with Dallas to win this one. Okay. I believe that they're still the better team, even though they've struggled. Tampa Bay offensively, outside of being able to go no huddle, I don't see anything this team can do offensively that has shown any type of progress. Tom Brady seems like he's scared to get hit and is scared to hold on to the ball for any type of time to let plays develop. So I'm going to go Dallas in this one, 20-17.
Okay. All right. That's a close score right there. And you know what? I got it real close, too. I'm with you. 24-21. I got Dallas in this game. I just don't see Tampa being able to score. I think that Dallas defense comes alive a little bit over here. Tampa may get away with something in the first half, but then maybe Dan Quinn makes some adjustments. I don't know. I like Dallas. Nikki, I know you don't want to hear that, and you're thinking Tom Terrific is going to do his thing, right?
Yeah, he is. Vintage Tom Brady is coming out. Listen, I learned my lesson not to bet against this man. And again, like I say,
you could have bet against him 9 times this year. You would have won.
No.
Yeah.
I know, but listen, so Dallas has a history of getting bounced in the first round. Tom Brady has a history of going to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I'm going to go Tampa Bay 28, Dallas 24, and pray to God I'm right.
All right. Prime saying what? Tampa's going to destroy him? Is that what you got? 34-20?
Okay. Wow.
Okay. All right.
If Tampa blows out Dallas, we definitely got to give Prime a shout out on the next episode for sure.
Yeah.
And Prime, then you got to come on Rush Hour on Monday night.
You should never bet against playoff Brady either. Oh, my goodness. Wow. All right. Well, a couple of us did bet against them, and I'm definitely gonna have some money down. Most of my money's going on that Cincinnati game, beating Buffalo. Beating Baltimore. I have more confidence in that one. Maybe just as much as San Fran beating Seattle. Those are probably my two games, Steve, that I got confidence in.
Yeah, Cincinnati minus 8.5. I'm definitely thinking that we're going to put that part of our parlay for sure.
Yeah, that should be in the parlay right there. Yeah, that's the last thing we got to do is figure that out before we get out of here. Nikki's got, I think, 3 more shows to do tonight. So
I have one to do in like 5 minutes.
All right, so let's get to it. Are we going to do Cincinnati minus 8? I'm totally cool with that. Cincinnati's going to kill them, in my opinion. I would do.
Yeah, I like Cincinnati minus 8.5 for sure.
Nikki, what do you think?
Yes.
All right. Since she's like, yeah, let me just get to my other fucking show. Let me get out of here.
No,
right,
I don't. I don't want to be late. I feel bad.
You both got the Giants. They're getting 3, even though I think that Minnesota's probably going to win. Is it 3 or 3.5? What do you have?
There's 3 on FanDuel.
I think it's 3. I mean, I would go with 3. I would take the 3 points because
I had that one written down as one that I like for sure. Giants plus 3.
Nikki?
I have what do I have? The Bucks to cover the 3. I like the under. Do I like the under 42.5 in San Francisco, Seattle? I think I like
the under that game.
Actually, you guys pick because I'm half paying attention. So
yeah, I like
San Francisco minus 9.5. I think you guys are going to destroy San Francisco, Seattle.
It's a tough one. That 9.5. They want you to bet Seattle because they want to say, "Oh, San Fran will win by 10 points," and now they're going to end up winning by 9. It's going to kill me. I hate that.
Yeah.
Well, let's definitely do the Giants because you have them winning outright, so they're getting 3. So let's do that. Nikki agrees on that, obviously, because she picked the Giants. What about the Chargers minus 1?
I don't know if I want to bet on that game. I don't.
No.
Betting on Brandon.
I know. I don't love that game either. I know.
Yeah.
What's the other one we're talking about over here?
So I like San Fran, but you said you don't like the point spread. I
don't like 9.5. I just don't. I don't love Brock Purdy. What if he just has one of those games? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I trust y'all defense, man. I feel like y'all defense might score 2 touchdowns in this one.
I feel like it's going to go over 43. The Niners have been scoring in the 30s. I feel like it's going to go over 43. But Nikki, you don't like that. She likes the under. Giants, Minnesota's 46 points?
I like the over in the Giants game.
What do you think, Nick?
What do I have the Giants? I have it 28-22. What is that?
So yeah, that'll be over.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right on 46.
All right, so we're gonna go over Giants.
I think my math sucks.
I can't do mental math.
All right, so it's how much again? Is it 46?
46. Yeah.
46.
It is. So I was right. 46 points. Okay.
I like the over in that one.
I like the over also. Let's do the over.
Okay.
Oh, you know what? Well, DraftKings has it 48.5.
It's funny how those 2 points make you think.
I know, right? It's points makes a difference.
I guess it depends who you're using, right? It depends on.
Funny. Oh shit! Oh my god! You know what? I think Dallas Tampa is going to be low scoring. What's the over under in that game?
I think it was 42 last time I checked it.
42. I think it's.
I had it 2017, so that would be under that. Yeah.
What game?
Dallas Tampa.
DraftKings has it 45.5.
Ooh,
I like
the under. Yeah, I
love
the under. It's 45.
Nikki, what do you think? You like the under on that?
Yeah, go under.
All right, let's do that. I like that a lot. Okay, maybe I like that too much. Shit. Okay. All right, so Tampa, Dallas under 45 or 45.5. Nick, 45
and a half.
45.5.
45.5. 45 and a hook. All right, beautiful. All right, so we got Tampa, Dallas under 45.5. Cincinnati beating up Baltimore by 8.5, and the Giants covering, getting 3 points against Minnesota in a game that you guys think they're going to win outright. So we got our parlaying. Super Wild Card Week parlay. All right.
I don't know.
Nikki, I know you got to roll, so tell them where you're going.
I am going on Average Joe Sports Talk podcast to talk about the Giants and Minnesota matchup in approximately 3 minutes. I'm going to refill my water bottle and hit the restroom and jump on there. Of course, you guys can find me Monday nights on Rush Hour. D was so gracious enough to jump in and co-host with me on Monday night, which was a lot of fun. Got to experience a new audience, Together Blue, all the weird requests that I get. So that was fun. Giants guys at 8 o'clock. We had a long show last night, but some great stuff that I'm going to chop up for you guys and start sending the clips out. And of course, here Wednesday nights, 7 o'clock.
All right. Tomorrow I'm going to be on with Tyler McGurk, 9 o'clock Eastern time. We're going to be doing the 49ers breakdown of the game. And then Friday, I'm going to have Russell Baxter on Power 32. We're going to break down all the playoff action and a whole lot more. D, what do you got going on?
Well, of course, The Real Deal with Damian Adams. That new episode dropped this morning, so go check that one out. GSMC Boxing will be dropping, I believe, next week. That'll be dropping, and of course, here every Wednesday night. And check me out on social media at The Real Deal WDA. Always drop a few thought-provoking videos each and every week.
D, you always bring the good stuff, man. I love it. I love it. Great content today, as always, my friend. And for now, guys, we are out. All got to run. Have a good night. We'll see you next week, and we'll see you on other shows throughout the week. Peace.
Bye.